Hi. This refrigerator is worth potentially millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. You know why? Because it was Owl Bob's refrigerator and I painted it. And we are artists. Owl Bob, his name's Al, was big in the New York art scene, or whatever it's called, in the 70s and 80s. And he lived with Jean Michel Basquait. And Basquait painted refrigerators that are worth like 200,000 or more, 100,000, 40,000, way more. Some of his art is worth millions. Basquait was friends with David Bowie and all this. He was a big artist. Him and Andy Warhol were friends. And Al was friends with Andy Warhol. Well, knew Andy Warhol. He didn't live with him, like he lived in the same apartment as Jean Michel Basquait, who painted Al's refrigerator, one of his refrigerators, and then I don't know what happened to it. But this was Al's refrigerator. And I painted it when I bought this house from Al. This house was built by George Solonevich. So he's an artist. And he knew him from New York too. He had been in New York here and there. So this is the refrigerator. I painted it. That's Al on the refrigerator and someone else who's special to me. And I'm an artist. I am a feature filmmaker. I was taught art by my grandmother, who graduated Pratt, was an art teacher in New York. Marjorie Martinez, she was an art teacher, and mother, Christian, Catholic. She's Catholic. And I have these feature films. I spent years on each feature film, and I'm an artist, so I painted this, and I think it's worth potentially a lot of money. And I'm selling it for $5,000. I'll transport it to you. I will transport it to you. Transport it to you wherever you are. Hi. So this is the refrigerator. This works, but it does not freeze as well. The very bottom of it freezes. You can put stuff on the bottom that you want to freeze, and the rest of it's like an ice cold. The bottom middle of it freezes. If this is frozen. This is frozen. Well, some of it is. Some of it is frozen. Like this mozzarella. These are frozen solid. Frozen solid. And some of it just refrigerates. But see, that's the thing. For this kind of money, you can pay somebody to fix it. Basquait's refrigerators didn't even really work, or they worked and got so old that they didn't work. They kind of worked, This is about the same condition as Basquait's, or different. A little different. I don't know what condition. His may have been in worse condition, but he did his art on the refrigerator, and so did I on this refrigerator. This bottom part works. It refrigerates, but it collects water in the bottom. And the lights don't work in this one, and this one they do not work, the lights. They don't have any mold or anything like that in them. They're safe to eat out of. And you kind of have to like mop that up every once in a while with a towel. You put a towel in there and clean it up and put it in the sink. Woo! Tripod fell down. Okay, so this is the refrigerator. I signed the bottom of it. My name, John. This is a no pipeline sticker that was Al's. He put on there some stickers I put on there. This is from my friend Nathan, who gave me this. It may be an unreleased sticker. My friend Nathan is the head of design at Vans Shoes. He's the senior designer, head of design at Vans Shoes. He was from Roanoke too. I live in Roanoke, and he was one of my best friends. And I went to LA, and then later he went to a little south of LA in Long Beach, and where Vans is. He's a skateboarder, so he worked for Vans, and it got pretty big. He knows most of the pro skateboarders, and one of the pros that we grew up thinking was the coolest got him a job at Vans. So he gave me this sticker. He's my good friend. I'm not trying to brag about his name or anything. His name's Nathan Iott. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said his name. But he's my good friend, regardless of he's not regardless. He's the type that does things as a friend and someone who grew up with me. He's not famous. He's just the head of design at Vans. He happened to get a good job because he was really good at skateboarding and stuff, and understanding and studying who the pros were and everything. So anyway. So here's the Owl Bob fridge. I think I'm actually going to put this online. This is special to me. I have to keep this. This is from the second feature-length screenplay I ever wrote, which was called The Second Story at the time, and I wrote ripped pink pantyhose into the screenplay in a class where I was with Danica DaCosto. I didn't know she'd be my wife yet, and I didn't meet her yet, but we read each other's screenplays in the store in the class, and then the next semester I became like really in love with her, and God brought us together. And I wrote that in 1999 or 2000. 1999, I think, at LMU, one of the Marymount University. And so that's kind of special to me. I'm going to keep that magnet. And it's an art refrigerator. It's really kind of special. It works enough that I'm probably going to throw this away, or I don't know. Actually, it smelled okay. I just put that in there last night or yesterday, and I might throw it away because it's in a can, but I might not. I don't know. Anyway, there's nothing that gross in here. I don't know why I threw this in here. I don't know why I threw that in there. Okay. I'll probably keep this refrigerator at my house. Probably going to put it in the downstairs. I'm getting a new one upstairs rather than spend the money on fix this one. I'm getting a new one. I'm going to keep this in the basement, so I'll have 3 refrigerators. Okay, so I'm going to go. This is John Birmingham. Bye. Click like in the video, subscribe. I am going to go. This is me trying to pose and look cool, when obviously I don't have way low cool looking body fat, because that's not what's most important. But I'm healthy enough. I feel healthy. So I'm going to go. Whew. Okay. Bye. Click a like in the video. It's a sentimental refrigerator to me. That's why I put a kind of high number on it, because I don't really want to sell it. And as an art piece, it may be worth more one day. I don't know, but I know I spend a tremendous effort on my films and my art and music and writing and stuff like that. My films mostly, which have my art in it. My post-production, titles I created in Photoshop. And It may be worth a lot of money, maybe worth millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands one day, maybe worth more. I don't know. I'm not super famous now. I'm somewhat known as a filmmaker. Okay. And it's more about following God and Jesus. That's what's really important. But work is hard to do. So I had to put in a number on that refrigerator for sale. I usually don't with my art. Anyway, what's way more important than that is following God and Jesus, which means kindness to others. The difference between people who only believe in God and whatever their religion is, and people who also believe in Jesus and they believe in God and Jesus. The difference between the people who believe in God and Jesus and the other religions are that with God and Jesus, Jesus is kindness to others, kindness to others, kindness to others, forgiving them when they're mean to you, and continuing being kind to them, being kind to others. He did that when he was on a cross, suffering on a cross. That's the difference between Jesus and God. And there's a little slight difference between Jesus and God. God is different from Jesus in some ways, but also Jesus is God in many ways, because he lived his Father's will so much on earth it made him happy to do his Father's will on earth. He was the only man who ever lived, or a woman, or a human. But he was a man. See, in Christianity, there's a man and a woman. There may be rare instances when someone is born as something different than that. But it's generally, it's a man and a woman in Christianity. You're either born a man or born a woman. And that's how things really are. That's reality. It's how reality really is. You know, there may be somebody born with two private parts, but you're not supposed to change that. You can't really change that. You're supposed to stay as who you are. People have unnatural sex tendencies when they're gay, bisexual, trans, or whatever that stuff is. They have unnatural sexual tendencies, and they should try to not do them. Jesus didn't do any sex at all. He didn't do any sex at all. He had no sin at all on earth. The only human able to do that, to not sin at all. That's what we should try to do, is not sin. We have the tendency to want to have sex. That's why God said, God may bring us together with a wife, one man together with one wife, who are as one flesh. A wife and a husband and wife. They're the same. They become the same flesh. They're made of the same. They're equal. They have slightly different roles. Anyway, you're supposed to be kind to others. You're supposed to be kind to others on earth. What is this? This is something I painted on my ceiling and did the plaster for too. This is an art house, pretty much. I had to work in real estate for a while and wasn't able to do stuff like this in a house until I bought a house that has art. It was built as an art school. This house is built to teach art. And my grandmother's an art teacher, and family are teachers, and we did art kind of. So I was able to do some art in here. So it's just art. You know, my grandmother did this art, and it's more God's art, you know. If it's anything, if you have to say it's any limited to any one thing, it's God, God's truth, Jesus, God's truth, Jesus. I guess you could say God's an artist. That's one way of looking at it, but really he worked really hard. He's the creator. What it's called is creator. He is the creator of all things, the original creator of all things. That's why we capitalize G-O-D. G-O-D. capital G-O-D, because he's the original God, the only God that there is. The other gods that are lowercase are all false gods. They're wrong. They're not really God. They're false gods. When other religions are talking about God, they know it's God with a capital G-O-D. They may call it other words, but they're talking about God. And you're way more likely to get into heaven when you believe in Jesus and God and Jesus, because that shows us how to really be in the Bible, the New Testament. I'm gonna go. Okay, it's not about how much money you have. It's not about how much you sell your refrigerator for. The refrigerator is sentimental to me, but work is really hard to do to pay bills and to pay for things we need. So I put a number on it, what it was worth for me to sell it, and it's something I worked hard at a little bit, to save that refrigerator instead of buying a new one. But I'm getting a new one now. I may keep the refrigerator, but if somebody wants to buy it, it's real art. It's real art from a real artist, and was Owl Bob's, and we were in videos together. This is something that you can get, to remember the videos we did together, or as art if you want. But it's really, I'm keeping it probably, or if somebody wants to give me money for it, I'll keep it, and I'm gonna use it to pay for my sons and me and pay our bills and stuff like that. And I have to pay my bills and work hard. I can't just retire right now, it's not easy. So that's part of God's plan for us. Well, not really his plan, but the devil messed things up and made it so that the man had to work. Usually it's just the man. Usually it's the man who has to work, but sometimes a woman may have to work. But in the Bible, it's really only the man who has to work. And that kind of sucks. It's not supposed to be. Okay. I'm looking up Jean Michel Basquait. Highest priced art. Wow. $110 million. A year before, the most expensive Basquait ever sold was $110 million. Another for 57 million or something. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So let's look up Jean Michel Basquait refrigerator. Here. Here's one of his works of art, a refrigerator. Here's another one of his works, one of his other refrigerators. Okay, here's his art in a gallery. His refrigerator in a gallery. Looks a lot like mine, maybe a little bit older. May or may not be working, the refrigerator, but that's it. I'm doing some other thing. I don't know what that is. Football helmet. I don't know what that is. If there's any other, this is all copyright. This is his art. This is a YouTube video. I don't own the rights to his art, that's for sure. I'm not that rich. This is some of his art. I was looking for another refrigerator. I found two of them. This one and this one that I showed you. Oh, here's the inside of one. Looks a lot like mine, about the same condition of mine. But his may not be working. Mine's actually working. Okay. Okay. Click like in the video, subscribe if you want, check out more videos. This is John Birmingham. Hi, this is John Birmingham. My kids know me as Dada or Dad. Dada. Okay, so that's it. Besides this is going to be really good. Please God and Jesus. Please, God and Jesus, you're omniscient, you're everywhere. You know everything, past, present, and future, because you created everything. You're everywhere at all times, God, and you're everything that's good. So we'll be okay when we believe in you and believe in Jesus. It'll be okay. Dear God, please help us be kind to others. Help us do God's work on earth. Help us do God's work on earth. I'm giving my parents my good printer because I didn't use it that much. I got it 2 years ago. It's a really good one. It's kind of expensive. I was going to print up resumes and headshots and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to give it to them because they're in real estate and they can use it for their anniversary. And my mom's birthday, I'm going to give this to them. This was like a really expensive one. So I'm going to give that to them. I have extra cartridges and stuff. I have these other cartridges. It's like a really good one, and they'll use it because they do real estate contracts and stuff. They've always had printers. They always had good printers. They always had good printers because they worked in real estate. So I got them when I was in film production, and we did contracts and stuff. But I didn't want to be mean about that. I never wanted to be mean about that. It was not about being mean. It was never about being mean with my parents and family and stuff. Trying to get somebody to sign a contract so I couldn't get in trouble or some stupid thing. No, that's not what it's about. Just because it's a little different than that. I sin too. I make mistakes. I'm a sinner. I'm a man, so sometimes I make mistakes. Humans make mistakes. We're not like Jesus, who was pretty close to perfect, but God is perfect. God is perfect. And Jesus was very close to perfect, but not, he was somewhat flawed on earth, maybe, but didn't sin. He never sinned. He was without sin. So in that way, he was perfect. So I'm going to go. Bye. Click like in the video, subscribe, or besides any of that stuff, please, God, be with us. Help us do your work on earth. Help us to do God's work on earth. Help us be kind to others. Help us not be led into temptation. Help us be kind to others. Don't let us get tricked by things that think we have to be mean to anyone. There's never any reason to be mean to anyone. Okay, it's sin. I don't want to say that that's good. I don't believe in it. I don't like it. I don't like when people are mean to other people or hurt others. And I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Bye. Bye. I love Rowan, Ivan, Ayla, and their mom, Danica. I love Danica, Rowan, Ivan, Ayla. Okay. And I hope all the audience is okay. I pray to God that the audience is okay. I'm going to go. Bye. I hope we're okay enough that we don't feel bad and we get to feel okay while being very kind to others. Our sin is what kills us. When we're mean to others, that's what hurts us sometimes. But other people can try to hurt us, but it's worse when we do anything mean to anyone. So the more nice we are, the better we feel. The more kind we are to others, the better we feel. Okay, bye. May God, well, I'm going to ask God, please be with everyone and help us to do God's work. Everyone watching this, and help us to do God's work, or everyone who can hear it right now. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Bye.